people recognize him and call him Malcolm and everything in the street. We was in Atlanta at a film festival, just walking in the street, and people walked up to Alonzo because he also stars in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people walking up to him like they knew about the movie and everything. So that's what birthed everything right there.
And shout out to that whole team, and hopefully you can put a word in, and he can be a guest at some point as well.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Yeah. I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I'll be with him tomorrow.
Okay, so now living with no regret, right? So I think we may have or may have not spoken about it, because for people who don't know, we worked together for many years at the Doghouse, Malcolm X Shabazz High School, and summer schools, and that
Goon
was
Squad, the Goon Squad. What up,
the Goon Squad? Never a dull moment, right? So, but at this particular juncture, right, while I was at Shabazz, I was sick as a dog. I don't know if I had the flu, if I had pneumonia, if I had both. I don't know what the hell it was. Make a short story short.
I think that's the person you want to talk about. He was with you on that. But go ahead.
Who's that? Okay.
We're talking about the same story.
Yeah. So I'm home, and home at this point was way out west, close to Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And I'm sick, and I get a phone call from producer extraordinaire Jamal Hall. And he says, yo, man, we got this scene. I'm shooting this movie. We got this scene. I know you're a promoter, and it's perfect for you because the scene is about a promoter, and we're in front of the club. I think it was Allure in Newark, New Jersey. You know what I mean? So
right.
So I'm like, who the hell gonna turn that down, right? And I'm on every drug imaginable to get through whatever it is I'm going through. And he said, listen, man, can you be here in an hour or whatever the time frame was? Now, where I lived at the time might have been an hour away.
Right.
And I got my sick ass up and put on my illest Diva Lounge ensemble, hat to match, all of that. And I got on 78 and I hauled ass down to.
You made it though. You got it.
I made it, right? And here go the crazy part. I didn't think the scene was going to be used because I think it was something about one of the lines I said didn't match the time in the era of the movie.
And my man Z Nuff too. He on the live right now too. That's the scene you did it with.
Shout out to Z Nuff. Oh, true. Shout out. Right. So I put on my illest Diva Lounge, and I'm trying to get into character, but I'm like, I don't need to be in a character because I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So I get there, we do the scene, and I'm like, they're not going to use that. They can't, right? I was working at Shabazz. I went from Shabazz to Central. I'm going to try and make this story short. From Shabazz to Central. And I'm walking through there, first time working there, right? I'm walking through the hallway, and the kid walks up to me, and he says, yo, you was in that movie. Oh, shit. I'm like, yo, I don't even know you, bro. Like, go to class. Get your goofy ass shit, I ain't go to class, right? Later on, about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, another kid walks up to me, and he's like, oh, my man just told me you. I said, yo, man, like, yo, bro, stop playing with me. After the third kid, I'm like, yo, what the hell are they talking about? And then once somebody said, oh, you was in Living with No Regrets. We saw it at Newark Cineplex. Yeah. It's you. And I'm like, oh, shit, they used the scene. Like, I didn't think they was going to use the scene. So I went to go and see it when it was in Jersey City. And I said, damn, that brother put me on the map for real. I mean, that never happened after that. But I just want to say shout out, salute. And I appreciate you even considering me for that role, man. It was quite an adventure.
Too. Sometimes like the kids recognize it. Like I don't walk around because I try to keep that life and the industry separate. But sometimes it goes like this, you can't help it, right? So sometimes the kids will notice things. Like one kid, the same kids I pressed not too long ago, I think it was last year. They pressed what's it, P&B Rock. Oh, yeah. The next, right? Them kids, right? So the next day, they came to me like, yo, oh, we didn't know you directed that Fetty Wap and House Party Squad. And I was like, yeah. And ever since then, I used that to kind of
different ball game. Right. Use that as leverage.
Right. It's crazy.
Use that as leverage. All right, so man, you've done a host of films with Royal Family. Let's get into let's get into some of the superstars that you've been fortunate enough to work with. That that you've had the experience to do so. Shout out to Monica. What's up?
I think the first and foremost thing is establishing relationships and keeping them positive and keeping them going. Even working relationships, like the person I'm about to name now, I first met him on Living with No Regrets. But to this day, even the project we want to talk about that's behind me, Lit, he's the main character in that. We just been down since day one, you know. And that's Mark John Jeffries from Losing Isaiah. He was in Power, got his head blown off for 50 Cent. He played Lil 50 Cent and Get Rich or Die Trying.
He was in Notorious, right? He was Lil Caesar Notorious, right?
Yep. Okay. So it's a pleasure working with him all the time, man. We've been to his acting class and doing a lot of things. So shout out to him. Of course, he said Clifton Powell, Pinky from Friday, and a ton of other movies he's been in. One of the ones I really enjoyed was Eric Roberts, Roberts' brother.
Okay.
He played in the Dark Knight Batman movie and a lot of movies. Yeah. But once you start working with like real actors, like you know that've been out there in that part of Hollywood and they're not black, it kind of authenticates you to say you're good. So, but now he was down to earth, cool. Actually, AZ the hip hop, that's throwback. But AZ, he was too cool sometimes on set. You know, like he'll mess up and I'll be like, cut. He like, nah, man, that was good. Just keep it going. So that's the first time I really had tension with what we call on set talent, like somebody that gets paid, like or a celebrity, whatever, call him talent. So he was kind of telling me like, nah, don't call cut, just keep doing it. He did mess up, but I won't tell you how that story ended. But it was cool though. It was cool. We just worked with Chrissy on the movie we're shooting now called A Second Chance, and she did real good because a lot of times the reality show, people will come through and act. We shot with Peter Guns. And but she had like a real emotional scene, and she did good. She actually cried on the spot, did real good acting, so it was cool. Mano, I love working with Mano. We worked with Mano on 2 or 3 projects. He's cool. I don't know what. Ice-T, we was in his house, and we can't even use that footage because it was hired to do it for Fox.
And he's from Jersey.
He's Inglewood. His house is crazy, bro. He has a red leather in his elevator that goes up, and his elevator is all glass in his house. But before you can get in the house, he has a garage.
Yeah.
You press a button, all the cars that didn't even come out yet, they go up. There's another set of cars underneath.
That's crazy.
The ground comes up.
Yeah.
He has a bulldog, so you see his big finger is a bulldog, and he has a full painting of his wife with no clothes on. You just gotta act like you don't see that and just keep.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Sounds like
cool as hell, man.
Sounds like a good morning to wake up.
We work with Perfect Storm with that's another company that we got real tight with. So we did Troy Ave music video and New Pop documentary working on Roy George Jr. Zav Judah. That was fun because they actually don't fight each other, but they do have like a small little scuffle. And so Alonzo's like, hey Hall, I said somebody gotta lose, somebody gotta take it.
Don't nobody want to do that though.
Nah. He was like, yeah, tell Zav. I'm like, nah, you tell Zav. I'm not telling him getting knocked out. So we kind of ended it where nothing happened, but they did swing a little bit. Plexico Burgers had a podcast we shot.
Okay.
So Big Grim, he a Steelers fan, but he was cool on set. He wasn't no problem.
He a diehard Steelers fan.
The coolest person, man, Omar Gooden, man. He flew in from LA. Omar Gooden and Onyx is good too. They studied their script. Yeah, Fragile Stars, Sticky Fingers, and they were real good. But Omar Gooden, like when I go out to LA, I chill with him and everything. It was cool, man. He's real cool, down to earth.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So the craziest dude is Chuck Zito from Oz. He's a big Italian white dude, and he's definitely like pro-Trump and everything. He comes from upstate.